Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's employer education session on the employer manual updates. This session is part of our employer education program, which is key to managing risk to the plan and is tied to the employer attestation of compliance initiative. But more importantly, this provides us with an opportunity to engage with you and ensures that you are aware of the updates to the manual. The objective of today's presentation is to provide you with updates that have been made to the employer manual. We will briefly review the changes related to multi-jurisdictional matters, concurrent members, and DBplus disability administration. We will also provide a brief demo of the manual itself. Deepak Patel, a pension analyst with Employer Services, will be presenting today. I will now pass it over to Deepak.
Thanks, Andy. Let's start by reviewing the purpose of the employer manual. The employer manual is a document that provides you with information about the plan. It also provides you with information on processes, forms, service levels, and frequently asked questions for each process which employers can review. Employers can access the forms through the manual. If an employer is in the process of merging prior plans into the plan and is working with a third-party administrator, their forms are available through SDoc, and the process for submitting such forms with your administrative partner may differ from the manual. These employers will also have access to the estimator tool, which can assist with providing information on pension purchases. So the new content in the manual includes additions and clarifying statements, clarifications to DB Prime versus DBplus processes and calculations, added information on concurrent members, added information on DBplus disability benefits, expanded types of leaves to account for different jurisdictions. We've removed references to some Ontario-specific terms and additional information about pre-retirement death benefits. So in summary, the updates to the manual includes edits and clarifications throughout the manual, including processes for DB Prime and DBplus. The manual has expanded the types of leaves to account for other jurisdictions and removed any references to any Ontario-specific terms. There is also additional information provided for pre-retirement death benefits. And please note that we will be revising the manual throughout 2021 to cover any new processes that may be completed using the employer portal. You will find an overview of recent updates under the What's New section of the employer manual. For example, the 2021 pension run dates were added recently to the employer manual. The pension run dates are the dates a new pension must be processed for it to be paid at the beginning of the following month. In addition, the PA calculator was also updated. CAT administers two separate pension plan designs, DB Prime and DBplus, which are referred to throughout the manual. Some employers administer both plan designs, while some administer DB Prime only or DBplus only. Different sections of the employer manual will apply depending on the employer. The employer manual contains drop-down sections that are curated specific to which plan design an employer administers. As you only administer the DBplus plan design, you will only make use of the employers that participate in DBplus only sections in the employer manual. Now let's review multi-jurisdiction administration. We're very excited about the fact that CAT continues to expand, which has allowed us to offer strong and secure defined benefit pensions to employers and their employees across Canada. Since this means that CAT now operates in jurisdictions outside of Ontario, the employer manual has been updated to reflect this. The CAT pension plan is registered in Ontario and serves employers across Canada. In 2020, most Canadian jurisdictions entered into a multi-jurisdictional pension agreement, which makes administration of plans like CAT much easier. It's important to note that Manitoba and Newfoundland and Labrador did not sign the agreement, and there are additional differences. For example, in Manitoba, it is mandated that OTRFT employees must enroll immediately following fulfillment of PBA criteria in their jurisdiction. CAT has created general forms for pension administration across all jurisdictions. As mentioned earlier, these forms are easy to find in the updated employer manual. The updated employer manual includes genericized plan terms and references. For example, where we may have previously referred to specific Ontario statutory leaves, general categories like maternity, statutory, and non-statutory unpaid leaves are used. Where a provision or treatment is only applicable in a specific jurisdiction, it is stated in the employer manual. For example, in the enrollment section in the employer manual, it states that Manitoba is an exception to the regular rule for optional enrollment once PBA criteria is met. Now let's review concurrent members in the plan. To locate information on how to administer members who are concurrent members of the plan, it will be located in the enrollment section of the manual. Concurrent members are employed at more than one participating employer. For example, someone could have a full-time job at one employer, but also work at another. If a member is already full-time in DB Prime and finds employment with a CAT participating employer that offers DBplus, they will not be able to contribute to DBplus and must continue contributing to DB Prime based on the earnings and service with their full-time employer. On the other hand, if a full-time or part-time employee already enrolled in DBplus starts working an additional full or part-time position with another CAT employer that offers DBplus only, not only can they enroll with the new employer, they must enroll and contribute to the plan. Their DBplus contributions will be calculated based on all of their earnings across all of their CAT employers up to the ITA money purchase limit. Now let's review disability provisions for DBplus members. The employer manual now has information on how to administer disability benefits for DBplus members. You will find this under the disability section. We've also added new content to the employer manual with regards to new guidelines for DBplus disability processes. We'll start with a brief overview of those guidelines and then show where it's located in the employer manual. When a member stops working due to a disability, injury, or illness, they may be entitled to disability benefits to ensure their pension continues to grow while they are away from work. These options are available to members if they are receiving either LTD benefits through the employer-sponsored insurance, or if they're receiving benefits under the workers' compensation plan of the member's jurisdiction of employment. For example, this would be WSIB in Ontario. If they are receiving one of these benefits, the employer offers the member a one-time choice to continue contributing to the plan, the same percentages as if they were working, but based on the income they are receiving from LTD or workers' compensation. If the member chooses not to contribute or does not return the election form, they cannot opt in at a later date and cannot purchase the period of leave at any point in the future. As mentioned, the member and employer contributions are based on the actual disability income received during the leave. As mentioned, it is the employer's responsibility to provide members with information about disability options with regards to their pension, as well as the election form if they want to continue contributing while on leave. The employer will need to collect and remit the member and employer contributions to the plan. Employers will also need to apply any rate changes to the contributions if they occur during the disability period. It's important to note that it is the employer who is responsible for submitting the election form to CAT. If the member returns to work, stops receiving disability benefits, or retires, their disability period ends. If you have any questions regarding the disability process, you can reach out to your employer PA. We will now provide a demo of the employer manual. Now to access the employer manual, you will visit the main CAT website and click on the Employer tab. The employer manual can be accessed by scrolling down to the employer manual section and clicking on the CAT Employer Manual button. You'll notice that by doing so, you will now have a new tab open to the employer manual. You can go back to the website by accessing the website tab. The employer manual is quite easy to use. You can begin on the Getting Started tab, where you will find information and tips on navigating the site using the search box, drop-downs, and version numbers. On the bottom left-hand corner of every page, you will find the last revision date along with the version number. As mentioned earlier, in the What's New section, you will find all of the changes that have been logged. As the manual is continuously updated with new information, we recommend that you check this section often. Changes will also be announced through our regular updates. All of the different categories are listed on the left-hand side. You can click on each item for a description of the topic, process, forms and tools, training resources, service levels, and frequently asked questions related to the topic. Each category is laid out in the same manner, except for the contributions, earnings, and service guidelines category. You will also notice some categories are broken down by plan design. We have sections related to the DB Prime plan design. DBplus plan design, which is applicable to employers that participate in both DB Prime and DBplus, and then a section for employers that participate in DBplus only. The section titled Employers that participate in DBplus only is a section you should refer to. Alternatively, the search box is a helpful feature of the employer manual to obtain information if you're just not sure where to find it. For example, if you want information about vacation pay, when you click on the link, you will see the words that you searched for are highlighted. Near the bottom of the menu, you'll find the forms. You'll see forms within the manual under their applicable sections. When you click on the Forms section on the website, this is where it will take you. And lastly, you will see our calculation spreadsheets. The calculation spreadsheets in this section mostly pertain to employers with DB Prime members and do not apply to you.